Uranus is the force of disruption. It breaks patterns that have become too rigid to evolve. It doesn't really negotiate, doesn't ease you into the change. It just flips the whole system, introduces the unexpected, and forces reality to update. And Gemini is the sign of information, communication, and movement. It lives in the contrasts and the dualities and the constant exchange between perspectives. It doesn't settle into one truth, it explores the multiplicity of truths. When Uranus moves into Gemini, the disruption happens through information itself. What we can expect is communication to speed up, for the signals to really start multiplying. And a lot of the narratives that once felt stable start to fracture under the pressure of what's happening. What used to be a shared story where people all kind of agreed on one thing becomes contested. Different versions of reality begin to exist side by side, and they don't reconcile very easily. This is the breakdown of a centralized narrative control. Systems that relied on managing information and shaping perception or maintaining a single dominant storyline begin to lose their grip. And it's not because they're weak, but it's because they're too rigid to keep up with the rate of change. Gemini doesn't stay still long enough to be controlled like that. So, although you can expect fragmentation and splitting and information overload and factionalism during this period, it's always happened through U.S. history. You'll have people sorting on to different interpretations of reality. Each one will be reinforced by their own, streams of data and communication. And the pressure isn't just from the external world. It also happens internally in the mind. When you're holding more inputs, more perspectives, more contradictions than before, things speed up. The signal's louder, it's faster, it's a lot less stable. But that's also where the opportunity is for this particular transit. Because that same energy that destabilizes fixed narratives increases our ability to adapt, to move between different perspectives, to think in layers instead of in absolutes, to recognize patterns across different streams instead of committing too early to just one interpretation. So thriving in Uranus and Gemini is not about finding the one correct answer. It's about staying mobile. It's about developing discernment without too much rigidity, because that is what Uranus breaks up. So being able to take in more information without being overwhelmed by it, being able to shift when the signal changes instead of clinging to what used to make sense. The systems that break during these times, Uranus and Gemini times, are the ones that can't really move. And the mind that adapts is the one that learns to navigate this multiplicity. So the people that will break from it are the people that are rigid. The people that will benefit or thrive during it are the people that can navigate it. So Uranus and Gemini doesn't give you certainty. It's not going to slow things down, but it does give you awareness if you're willing to look. And what you do with that determines which version of the future that you align with.